Listen to this incident. The prophet was actually 32 years old. This is one of the most important stories in history. There was a woman named Sada bint Thalaba. She left her village for another village with her 8-year-old son. On their way, they were attacked by enemies. In the past, the island was not safe. A tribe attacked them and kidnapped the boy. They kidnapped him and sold him in the slave market. Do you know who this boy is? He is Zayd ibn Haritha. Look how God arranges things for us. They sold him and a man named Hakim, the son of Hazam ibn Khuwaylid. Who is he related to Khadija, his aunt? Hazam Abu Hakim is Khadija's brother. When he left, he bought him for 4,000 dirhams and went to Mecca. He presented him to his aunt Khadija. Khadija took him in and was delighted with this little slave. Afterwards, she presented him to the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, saying, "Take this slave from me as a gift for yourself." Poor Zayd was crying, not knowing that the best days of his life were in this house. He was a young boy, 8 years old, who had been kidnapped from his mother and father. Then he enters upon the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, crying, "Perhaps you hate a thing which is good for you, and perhaps you love a thing which is bad for you." Then Allah said at the end of the verse, "And Allah knows, you do not know. Allah is the one who knows." A servant remained in the house of the Prophet, a slave that time his father and mother roamed the earth looking for their kidnapped son. His father was a poet. He used to write poetry. Poetry is a means of communication. Like those who now put an ad in the newspaper or on the phone for a lost old man or a missing child, they put his picture, they search for him. His father recites a poem in which he expresses his grief and describes the child in many poems by Haritha bin Zayd so that it reaches the people. He says, "Perhaps it will reach one of the Arabs, and he will guide me to my son." Once a tribe of tribes went out to perform Hajj in Mecca, and they saw Zayd near the Kaaba. They said, "Are you Zayd bin Haritha?" He said, "Yes." They said, "Who are you with?" He said, "Slave for Muhammad bin Abdullah bin Abdul Muttalib." They went back and told his father. They said, "Rejoice, we have found your son." He said, "Where did you find him?" They said, "We found him with a man called Muhammad bin Abdullah bin Abdul Muttalib, the grandfather of Abdul Muttalib, who was one of the leaders of Quraysh." His father, Haritha, said to them, "My tribe, stand with me. I want to collect money to ransom my son." He sat collecting money and borrowing money. Look at this. May Allah grant our parents paradise. I say to the youth, fear Allah in treating your parents well. He collected money and went with a group of his tribe until they knocked on the door. Imagine this scene in this great situation. He knocked on the door and the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, came out. He said, "Are you Muhammad ibn Abdullah?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Your grandfather is Abdul Muttalib." He said, "Yes." He said, "You sons of Abdul Muttalib, you free the captives and assist in times of need. You have positions that the Arabs know well. We came to you when we learned that our son is with you." He said, "Who are you talking about?" He said, "We are talking about Zayd ibn Haritha." He said, "Who are you?" He said, "I am his father, this is his uncle, and these are my family. We have come to you with this money to ransom him. We ask you to give us this boy." Look at the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. What did he say? He said, "We will call him to you. Now I have for you an option that is better than this offer of yours." They said, "What is it?" He said, "We will call him and offer him an offer. If he agrees to go with you, then that is his option, and your money is with you. But if he chooses me, he will stay with me." This story presents a humanitarian stance. Why didn't the Prophet say, "Take your son"? Who can give me an accurate deduction? Some say it's because he wasn't comfortable with them. Others say it's to raise children with freedom of choice, which is correct. Others say it's because the Prophet didn't want money, which is also correct. But there's a more subtle meaning to this behavior, which is, in short, because the Prophet knew Zayd was attached to him. With this behavior, he was as if saying to Zayd, "I love you too, and I will prove to you that I won't easily give you up. I've left the choice up to you." This is a great humanitarian aspect. He called out to him, "Come, Zayd." He went out to them, and when he saw them, he greeted his father and embraced him. His father wept, his uncle wept, Zayd wept, And the prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, wept. He asked, "Do you know who they are?" He said, "This is my father, this is my uncle, and these are my family." Zayd said, "Look, Zayd, your father offered me money to ransom you, but I refused it. I told him, if you want them, go with them, and if you want me, stay with me." His father said, "Come, let's give Muhammad the money." He said, "No, by Allah. By Allah, I will not leave Muhammad." He said, "You will accept slavery and leave your family, become a slave and leave us?" He said, "By Allah, my sitting with Muhammad is worth the whole world, and I have seen from this man what I have never seen in my entire tribe." And for more information, this was before Islam, and he had not yet become a prophet. The prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, "Come on, Zayd, let us go together to a place where we want to announce this matter to the whole world." The prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, went and stood by the Kaaba. When he stood by the Kaaba, he called out to the people, saying, "O people, from today this boy's name will be Zayd ibn Muhammad." He named him Zayd ibn Muhammad. By the way, the only companion whose name was mentioned in the Quran is Zayd, in Surah Al-Ahzab, verse 37. "And when Zayd had no longer any need for her, we married her to you." No companion's name was mentioned in full except Zayd. When the messenger of God, may God bless him and grant him peace, said, "Zayd, O Quraysh, his name is Zayd ibn Muhammad. If I die, he will inherit from me, and if he dies, I will inherit from him." Of course, this is the greatest honor. Later, the issue of preventing adoption came. He was called by his father's name after the verses in the Holy Surah were revealed, Zayd ibn Haritha. When Zayd heard this speech, he knew that the good was in his, remaining with the prophet. May God bless him and his family and grant them peace, and his companions. The choice was the best for him, so he chose our prophet. May God bless him and his family and grant them peace, and his companions. The prophet also succeeded in this experience, the wonderful human experience.